The Social Justice Coalition, along with the people of Khayelitsha, have been working head-to-head against the city of Cape Town in order to find a restructuring of the budget when it comes to proper sanitation. I'm joined in studio by Khayelitsha from the coalition, who's going to tell us a little bit more about what has been going on. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I mean, obviously for very obvious reasons, there has been a problem in Khayelitsha with regards to proper sanitation. But what is it that kind of motivated your coalition to take this project on?
The sanitation issue has existed in Khayelitsha for a long time, even for decades even. People in informal settlements have lived there for almost all their lives, 20 years, 25 years, and the issue has been there. We started to take up the issue when a lot of people living in these informal settlements started to complain that they were feeling very unsafe when they have to use toilets. People get robbed, people get raped, people get murdered trying to access a toilet or a tap because these are dysfunctional and they are very far from people. So they have to travel distances at night to relieve themselves in open fields or bushes. So there's those criminal attacks and sexual violences that exist in Khayelitsha.
So I mean, unfortunately, we did hear this year about the passing of a snowcaller. So I mean, these are examples of how it's taking people's lives. If we were to get into kind of the process that you've gone into, this year you submitted 3,000 submissions, whereas last year you submitted 502. Tell us how that kind of started and what training you've been going through with the people of the Khayelitsha to get themselves involved in making a budget work for themselves.
We live in a very unequal city due to the apartheid special legacy. And we understand we have a very powerful constitution and local government has a role to involve residents of a certain city in the workings of local government. And the budget is one of the powerful mechanisms that can be used to overturn the special legacy or the inequality that we see in the city. So we started using the budget as a means to try and engage the city. And doing that means that we're engaging the city on numbers that come from them, on the facts that come from them. And what we found out from when we started engaging the budget, it's a very complicated document. The document itself, you cannot, as an individual, just go through it without proper training. And so we started training ourselves to understand the budget, to go through the budget, but mostly focusing on the water and sanitation budget because that's our work revolves around that. And once we understood the numbers in the budget, we looked at the history of allocations for sanitation within the city of Cape Town and started workshopping ourselves to see how much has the city been allocating for informal settlements over the years and how much is the city allocating and checking whether that is fair. If the allocation that goes to informal settlement, is it fair? Is it equal to the allocation that goes to other areas within the city of Cape Town?
And so how was that kind of contact with, you know, the people of Khayelitsha, having to learn these kind of figures and also realize that there may be a huge disparity on the money that's been given to people in relation to the kind of the space, you know, Khayelitsha would need more attention than Rondebosch, for instance. And how was that kind of been in working that out?
I mean, access to information is one of the challenges that we always faced, not only in this city, but across the country, whereas we have that right. Section 32 of the Constitution guarantees us that right to access to information. But information such as budget information is not always there, is not always available. And so when people see this information and when they realize that there are these inequalities, it motivates them to do even more, to stand up, to study these issues, and to want to engage with government about resolving these issues. So that's what we did. We engaged with our members. Our members went back to the communities in Khayelitsha, and this year we also went to Gugulethu to engage residents there in Gugulethu and started to engage them about this unfair budget of the city of Cape Town and encourage people to make suggestions, because that's what the mayor said when she was tabling the draft budget, that she welcomes every citizen of Cape Town to make public submissions and comments, and that's what we did.